they were going to end their lives before this incident ever started, because we're ignoring the mental illness issues in our community. But we got Congress, we got state legislators, we got county commissioners, and city councilmen all being wrapped up in the business of America. When I say the business of America, that's all they're concerned with. Those billionaires, those people that are generating billions of dollars off of false needs that they're creating in our communities. You know, but rather than building affordable houses, they are building houses that the people can't even afford to live in. So what are we gonna do? I'm saying do veterans votes matter, because we're that one element in society right now that could change the projectile of where this country is going. Because it has been infiltrated by people that don't even want the government that we serve to uphold. They don't want this government. They want to change it. They want to give it over to something else. And we are just sitting back. We're forgetting the sacrifices that our peers have made. 58,000 in Vietnam. How many in Afghanistan? How many in the Iraqi war? Are we going to keep dying for the country and then allow forces to come in and infiltrate the governments and cause it to fall? Veterans of all races and generations, you pledged allegiance to the flag, to the republic for this. Listen, we cannot sit back and act like we don't see what's happening. We got to make our votes matter for something. And the best way we make it matter is go confront those elected officials that's holding office right now in our city council districts, in our county commission districts, in our state districts, and in our house district. We need to confront all of these people about the way our government is malfunctioning. It's not really functioning, where you got a large segment of Georgia population, that can't even go to the doctor when they get sick because they don't have health insurance. And then you got a governor that take pride in showing that he got a $7 billion a surplus in the deficit, and he had to pass right by homeless people under the bridge on the way to the Capitol. We got to get some people that got some sense of humanity, some sense of morality back in our government. Some people that gonna follow the Constitution, do what the Constitution says its government is supposed to do. It's supposed to look out for the people. The government is supposed to work for the betterment of all the people. We got the elected officials going and talking about their base. Your base is the American people. If we got a two-party system, you know, you run for whatever position in government you run for, and the vast majority of the votes dictate what the people's gonna do. Accept it. That's the law. That's the Constitution. That's the system of government that we have. Why would you want to start calling folks names and saying they cheating you out of something when that's not a fact? Those are ways to keep us separated. Those are ways that they have designed purposely to cause a collapse of what we serve for veterans. Everything we serve for, every sacrifice we made, they don't care nothing about it. We need to know what our vote is doing in this country, in our neighborhoods, in our communities. And we see what it's doing. We know more than most people, more than most civilians, that government is supposed to do certain things. We did it in the military. You know, we wasn't concerned about what party or what political beliefs another soldier had. That was their personal beliefs. We all worked together, we lived together, and we performed a service together that made this one of the greatest countries on planet Earth. Why are we gonna let somebody else come in here and destroy it because they want power? They don't want power to make changes for people. They want power just for the sake of power. And if you don't agree with them, they're gonna make you disappear, or they will destroy your career. They'll mess up your family. They don't care about the Constitution, the laws, and the government that we serve for. We serve for a democracy. And we got exclusionary people running our governments. Oh, my road dog is here. Tony, good to you, brother. See, like Tony said something to me last week when after the election, we sat on this advisory commission that was established because Tony and I was lobbying Fulton County to do something for veterans. And we lobbied them for a long time, Tony.
Yep. Yes.
And we got some movement. We actually got something done. And then it's set up. The whole setup of it was in such a way that it allowed exclusionaries to take control of the entity that is supposed to be advising the commissioners that we elected.
Yeah.
But they ain't advising nobody. They can't even call a meeting where all of us are meeting together to have a civil conversation about the categories that the program was set up to address.
You know, exactly. The program is set up for veterans, you know, and so we should be communicating with all veterans. You know, it is, if it is a commission for veterans, we should be out talking to veterans. We should be interacting with the veterans to find out what they like, what they don't like, what their needs are. And that's all we were, when I went into it, that was what I was thinking we were going to do.
And that was what I think the commissioners thought that we was going to do.
Yes.
I mean, I looked at the legislation and I'm saying, it's laid out the way we thought it was going to be laid out.
Yep.
And but well, I'm going to tell you something else that happened. When they staffed this thing, right?
Exactly.
When they staffed it, they misstaffed it. The commissioners had no criteria for their appointees.
Yes.
They had no criteria for their appointees. They just appointed somebody because it was a commission. Some of them did. Some of them didn't even take time to make appointments.
Exactly. That was my next point. Yes.
So some of them didn't even take time to make, veterans in Fulton County need to know who they was.
Yes. Yes.
And ask them why. Why you didn't do what you were supposed to do by law.
Yeah.
You are our elected officials. We have lobbied for something to happen. You wasted taxpayers' dollar, set it up. It's set up the way it should be set up. But you didn't look at staffing it.
Yes.
You just allowed the worms to come in and do stuff that worms do.
Yeah, right.
They spoil stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
We're not going to sit back and allow this commission to be spoiled. I mean, I was flabbergasted because, you know, like you say, I was hit by a white train.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting no white train to even be in that place.
Yes.
But it's one there.
It's one there, yes.
And that train has not allowed the commission, the Veteran Empowerment Commission, to do anything relevant to the legislation that is set up to exist.
Yes.
Never been a face-to-face meeting. We never had the capacity to put input, you know, from our districts.
Yes.
You know, what do the first district veterans deal with these categories that's there? How do they fit in the second district? How do they fit in the third district? How do they fit in the fourth district? How do they fit in the... We have never had a conversation.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering, what am I doing there? But they showed me what I was doing. They got me out of the way.
Yeah.
But you know, that is, you know, I'm a firm believer. I'm a Christian. I'm a retired pastor. I just believe in the Word of God.
Exactly.
So you know, everything happened for a reason. I was there as vice president, Tony, because I wanted to work with the commission itself to make these things happen. So I was not as vocal outside of that as I probably should have been, you know, because I wouldn't. We are here every Saturday. We weren't specifically talking about how this commission works, trying to get the veterans in the community to understand how it works, trying to get some of that bureaucracy out of the way it works, and so stuff like this could never happen.
Exactly.
But what happened? The people saw, these invaders saw the opportunity. They saw the opportunity to get in and take government. And I've heard conversations about, well, this should be done by business. They want to make business capable of coming in, getting some of the money. Business been getting it. That's why the problem is the way it is now. What we got to do as veterans, we really got to look at our government, and we got to look at why it's functioning the way it is. We know it could function better because we seen it grow. We seen it move and do some great stuff. But now, all of a sudden, they're separated. They want us to be separated based on race, ethnicity, neighborhoods, whatever way they can separate us, so we won't come together and get them out of office. They doing it. They doing it. That's why I'm asking the question: do veterans vote matter? Are we gonna just sit back while they take away what we serve for?
And our votes matter, but we've got to not only just vote, but be vocal.
Be vocal.
We gotta speak up.
We gotta speak up. We got to do like we were doing when we were lobbying. They saw us coming. They want to go another way, but they couldn't. They we were too close up on them before. When they looked up and said, "Oh man, we got to deal with these guys here. They come again." But that's what we have to do. And you will have some breakthroughs like getting this commission set up. That's a major breakthrough for Fulton County veterans. But I want to know what was the first year's impact of $1 million.
Yes.
I ain't even discussed that. When we start raising that, they rushing me through. That's from the inside. Now I'm up from the outside. I ain't trying to help you do whatever you was doing no more because you didn't include me no way.
Right. Yes.
You didn't not only not include me as the vice chairman, you didn't include none of the district appointees.
Exactly.
You what you did, you hogged it up. You organized it in a way that you could have a 10-minute election.
Yes, exactly.
So stop playing. This we don't have to do this to each other. This is the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans, and we're veterans talking to veterans and the community about all things community.
Yes.
And this is something about the community. This is not something, and we seen this function on the city level too. Now I ain't gonna forget that Memorial Day is coming up. We could have given Atlanta, Fulton County, a memorial for the 246 young men that paid the ultimate price for the freedom that we enjoy in this community this Memorial Day. But Commissioner Warren stopped and said it was his job. I want to know what make that his job, because he never explained it to anybody but whoever he was representing when he shut City Councilman Bond's effort down. And I'm really upset with it because we have not had an appeal that we could get to him. We asked him for a meeting. We asked the mayor for a meeting. Nobody seemed to think that it's relevant enough for them to have a meeting, have a sit down and talk with us.
Except for Commissioner Bonds and Marvin Arrington. They see the importance of this project.
They see the importance and been working to make sure it happens. And I'm looking at the rest of the city councilmen, and I'm thinking that really they don't understand the project. Give us an opportunity to explain the project to you. It's not about black, white, Hispanic. It's about all veterans. And all the communities that these veterans come out of. We got to stop letting these people separate us and divide us and take away the government that belongs to us. They want a government where we're excluded, where we don't have anything to say about how it functions. I didn't know that white train was coming, but that's what was on it right?
Yes.
You know, it was a freight train
Yes.
full of racism, exclusionism, and selfishism. Veterans votes gotta matter.
Yes.
We have to look at it, Tony, because every major city in this country have built a memorial to their sons since Barack signed that proclamation in 2012. Every major city except Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't have no problem with us being last, because most of these cities, they just set up the memorials and they didn't tell the story.
Yeah.
They just put the memorials
Exactly.
in place.
Yes.
You know, and they ain't telling the story. But the story is, you know, this was the first generation that served in a integrated military.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first generation out of segregation. Well, no, we were still in segregation when I went in, Tony. And we just happened to go into a integrated military setting.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we come out of segregated neighborhoods,
Yes.
segregated communities.
Yes.
And
Segregated city.
in segregated cities.
Yes.
Because wasn't no city councilmen look like us on Atlanta City Council when I left in 1967. Wasn't on the county commission.
Exactly.
But since my service, I've seen that number grow.
Right.
I've seen it change. I've seen our government start looking like the people in our community.
Yes. Yeah.
Somebody from every community representing their community. Ain't nothing wrong with representing their community.
Yeah.
You know, that's what our representative government is all about. But it don't cause for us to be separatists, individualists. It calls for us to look at the democracy, because if I don't get what I want in this legislative session, they have one coming up next year.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of our government.
Yes. Yes.
You know, these clowns don't even know what government's supposed to be doing, and they out there messing with my service. Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing. Hey, listen, you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
We want you to get in tune with Veterans Talk, because see, I'm thinking that it's gonna be Veterans Talk that get all of us talking. You know, we got to get talking to our neighbors. You know, if we're gonna deal with this violence in our community, neighbors gonna have to start back communicating.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I don't see no other way. The police can't stop it, because they handicapped. They made to face these automatic weapons by this business.
Yes.
They can't stop it.
Yes.
And then, you know, like every other institution, they invaded too.
Yeah.
You know, they invaded too. They got people in there that'll stop a boy and beat him to death for. Well, I ain't been able to understand why they beat that boy to death yet. I've been looking for a motive for them to beat this young man the way they beat him. I hear all this stuff that go around. I see the films, but what made 5 police officers?
Yes.
I want to understand that. That boggles my mind, Tony. You know, I mean, being a combat soldier, I know that the best way to subdue an enemy is you know, to hit him with all the firepower. I mean, I was glad to call in airstrikes when, you know, from the Air Force, to see the Navy pump some stuff over in there when it got hot. But this boy wasn't nothing hot. They declared war on him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why we letting our government function like this when veterans know better.
Yes. Yes.
We know better. We know better. We know better. We know better. We know that we can have a functional government that's inclusive and respectful of all people. But we got folks in our government right now that coming up with all kind of stuff to keep people separated, make people in the community separated. You know, to stir up old wounds.
Yeah. It's really challenging to live in this community and see it happening, because when we grew up, it wasn't there. It was not there. We grew up. True enough, we had separate communities that we lived in, because those were the rules and the laws of the time.
And Tony, I'm gonna say something. You hit the nail on the head, man. Listen, when integration came,
Yes.
The plantations owners had that was the second blow. They had already took one blow when Abraham Lincoln signed the Master President, got him killed.
Yep.
You know, right? It got him killed. We need to just look at the history of our country and face it so we won't repeat it. See what happens?
Yes.
Some people want to bury this history, and that's why we keep going back into these cycles of stuff. You know, at one time the violence in black community was against black communities.
Yes.
Now they have infiltrated us enough to create the violence within that community.
Yes.
And at the same time separate us from every other demographic in the community, in the same community.
Yeah.
Got us scared of each other. You know, because they call it crime. But the biggest crimes are done every day by the exclusionaries.
Exactly. Yes.
You know, if we want to go down and look at crime, but they're not looking at crime. They're looking at keeping control of the resources of government so that they can direct it to their best interests, and we get the crumbs off the master's table.
Yeah.
We need to let them know that ain't happening no more. You know, it feels good to be a property owner. It feels good not to be. I know I ain't gonna be gerrymandered. You know, they might do some other stuff that make it cry like they did Trish, try with the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they got all kind of things that we need to straighten out in our government because of what we've learned over the past 5 years. I'm gonna say 6 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Trump came to power, we saw
exactly.
You know what? He was taking us to school. He took us to school.
Yep.
Now we know.
Yep.
You know, we know that we got Clarence Thomas and Tim Scott and Herschel Walker.
Yes.
Openly. You know,
yeah.
I was at barbecue kitchen over here on Virginia Avenue, Tony, one day, and nice young lady come up to her, 'cause you know I'm always wearing one of my caps. If it ain't Sons of Atlanta, it's a veteran. She saw I had a Vietnam veteran cap on. She said, "You're a Vietnam vet? Thank you for your service." I said, "Oh, thank you for recognizing. My daddy was a Vietnam veteran." I said, "Oh, wow, thank you. Thank your family for the service." She said, "But he passed." I said, "Well, I'm sorry for your loss." She said, "I'm an undercover Trump supporter. I ain't been back to barbecue chicken since, because I'm scared she might have had a bomb." She might have had a bomb.
Yeah.
Like Herschel Walker came to town with a bomb.
Yes.
You know, a bomb that trying to bomb our rights to vote.
Yes.
You know, I mean, as much as I love Herschel Walker, right?
Yeah.
I was hurt by that.
Yeah.
I mean, how can we be so blind to evil?
It was difficult watching a young man who had tremendous capabilities on the football field, yet allow himself to be used. He was used. He became a puppet for the Republican Party in an effort to get control of the United States Senate. And they felt this was an opportunity. You know, we're going to get us a Georgia boy.
Millions of dollars they pulled in here, and they almost did it.
Yes. Yeah, they were determined. But luckily, the community of Georgia, not just, you know,
the community of Georgia,
they saw him for what he was.
And that was the greatest thing that I witnessed in the government, because it was not just black people.
Right.
It was all people of Georgia saying, "Woo,
yes,
ain't gonna have it."
No.
That's what we got to do with the rest of this mess. We got to make our vote matter, Tony.
Yes.
And it does matter when we look at if we can just all get on the same page and look at what is happening in our communities and why it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, never before in the history of the country have I heard elected officials talk about each other so bad because of their party affiliation.
Yes.
They have no respect for each other, and I mean they didn't start doing all that bully talk, all that cussing each other until Donald Trump became president.
Yes.
He made it okay.
Yes. He made it okay to
be bullish.
To try to force people to do things. You know, a perfect example of that, of them trying to bully and force their attitude, is the president's State of the Union address.
Mm-hmm.
When we had a representative, female, from Georgia, scream out at the president of the United States, "You lied." You know, showing absolutely no respect because they feel they can get away with making statements like that and never be held accountable.
Never be held accountable.
And unfortunately, the party of 45, meaning Donald Trump, they have established themselves to the point to where they will allow those types of action to take place within the United States.
And I'm gonna tell you what, Tony. I knew this, and I underestimated it until I got hit by the white train.
Yeah, right. Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Till I got hit by the white train.
Yep.
And watched it develop there, and I'm thinking that, well, you know, the skill packages might be important. Now, you know, we need skill packages to develop the commission.
Yeah.
But then after it got there, we wasn't even included in no meetings.
Yes.
No meetings, and when we came to the virtual meeting, we was cut off like, you know,
this is what we're going to do, like it or not. This is what's going to happen, and there we were.
That's the kind of government that these people want to build in our community.
Yeah.
But they hit the wrong county.
Yes.
They're dealing with the wrong folks. I didn't go into combat because I'm punk. I went into combat because I'm a soldier.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have no fear of dying in combat. I've already established that. I went to Vietnam where some of these folks might have been going somewhere else.
Yes.
So they ain't got no value in what I bring to the table.
Right.
But they need to have it because that's respectful. And I'm finna let them know that it's okay about the way you feel, but the way you're acting, we not gonna tolerate that. You know, this exclusionary stuff in our government on any level, whether it be an advisory post or whether it be actual government operation. We got a right as veterans to stand up and say, man, this ain't what we about.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't pledge allegiance to that. You know, and I want all the veterans that's listening to think about your pledge of allegiance. Your word mean everything. If that's what you meant, live up to it now.
Yeah.
If that ain't what you meant, well, we understand. We know that a lot of people wasn't changed by their military service. They didn't understand it.
Right, yeah.
You know, and that's true. That's okay. That's that. Yeah, you've been. But understand this. This is our government, and we're gonna stand up for this government. For this government.
Yes.
Not something that you feel like you want to do where you can change funding programs for people every year. You want to take away Social Security. You want to take away veteran benefits. You want to do all kind of stupid stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the democracy that we serve for. So you need to stop it. Go somewhere and sit down. And you know, where you got countries that feel the same way you do. You got a right to migrate, but you ain't gonna take over America. You know, you're not just gonna take away what veterans have served for generations. And try to change the government in the process so it do what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. You know, and the people ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, we served our country so that we could get benefits. That was.
Listen, Tony, you exposing me now. You exposed me. Listen, man. I grew up wanting to be a lawyer because of Leroy Johnson. You remember Leroy, right?
Of course. Representative Leroy Johnson right here in Atlanta.
You know, that was my hero because he was a lawyer. He was a slick lawyer, you know. But he was a lawyer. I grew up wanting to be a lawyer. Got managed and had a baby. You know, so kind of changed the projectile. Got a job at the railroad so I could take care of the baby and the family that I had. But I still wanted to go be an attorney. I wanted to go. I still wanted to go be an attorney. So the draft came. My mom had a fit. She wanted me to go because I'm only son. But I'm looking at them benefits.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because I'm already top heavy because I got a baby, got a wife, got a house already, right? Because I got a good job at the railroad because of what Dr. King was doing at that time.
Exactly.
It made it open up. They came to Washington High School and signed up a bunch of us.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
They went to every high school in our community at that time and signed up for railroad, post office, Lockheed's, all of the good jobs.
AT&T, all of those major companies
open up to us.
Right.
Like woof.
Yeah, and right out of high school, no college,
still in high school.
no junior college, none of that was required.
Listen,
yes.
I was still in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I had got promoted to 12th grade, so they came through. They were looking at grade point average, so they offered me a chance, and I took it during the summer. Got ready to go back to school. Time to go back to school. I'm making more money than my mama, right?
Yeah.
So I tell her, I ain't gonna go back to. She said, when you gonna move? When I'm where I'm going. She said, you getting grown, you're gone. As long as you're here, you're gonna do what I say. You gonna get an education.
Yeah.
So I got drafted, and that was the thing that I was gonna use to go to college.
Right.
Go
Yes.
school.
Exactly.
That's what I wanted it for. And I mean, even though I did it late, I still did it. Right. It was because that was the motive for going there. I wanted to go to law school. Went to law school. Was able to do that, but had to mess myself up and couldn't take the bar because I had got a felony conviction. They had all the things played out that they were gonna override the dreams that we had coming back in this country.
Yeah.
And some of them still doing it.
Yeah.
They're in government now. They are in government now. They're not outside of government. They're in government.
In government.
They done took over the electoral processes.
Yes.
They got it so you used to get some signatures and run for office. You didn't get no signatures.
Right. Yes.
They done changed the
government. You got to have the finances. It has nothing to do with you getting signatures to get yourself elected and getting on the ballot. No longer,
See,
once you get control.
We need to, as veterans, we got to decide whether what we served for was just something we did only for benefits. I got changed in that process, Tony. Mm-hmm. I started seeing government from a side that I had never seen it work before. When they said you were gonna do something, you did it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When you go somewhere, you was there on time.
Yes.
What you had to do, you did it the way it was supposed to be done.
Yeah.
That was government.
Yes. Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I got kind of hooked on the fact that I started realizing how my daddy always, when I came home from on leave, keep on your uniform for a minute. We're gonna ride me and show me off.
Yep.
Because he was proud of the fact that I was in the U.S. military.
Yes. And doing well. Doing well. So we have to understand that this is a generational assault on us. Mm-hmm. We got to understand I was looking at the Medgar Evers story, and him coming out of World War II, segregated military. He said, this ain't what life's supposed to be about. They shot the brother in the back for trying to register votes. Yes. For the rights that he earned as being born in America as a citizen of this United States. Mm-hmm. And in an effort to control, once again, magic word, control. They wanted to control the government and control the people.
The people.
This was an effort on their part to control.
And they still doing it, they just doing it in different ways.
Yes.
See, what some people got to realize, some people ain't there to work with you, they there to undermine you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They there to divert what you're doing in this country now. Mm-hmm. It used to be a time that you had respect for veterans. There should be a real respect for veterans for a minute there.
Yeah. Man,
you go out to the VA out there on Fort McPherson, and you get jumped on.
Yes.
So the VA, getting back to VA looking at racism, I'm afraid that this just another way they're diverting the money, because they setting up another what they call equity department. Mm-hmm. Why you need to do all that? You know what they're doing. You see what they're doing. It's in every veteran's files. I could go out there and spend a whole day showing them how they messing over veterans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't need another commission to understand that. I can show them by cases, pulling up cases, Tony, that I've worked.
Yep.
And show them the disparity in treatment based on race. Cause it wasn't it wasn't it wasn't no secret. We could see it in cases where the ratings are different, where the standard of review is different for you than it is for the rest of them.
Yeah.
You know, it finally they're just responding to Yale's University suit against them. But you know, this is something that we need to bring out, talk about, because it's not what we serve for. It's not what we show that it could be possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every veteran know that it's possible for us all to learn together, serve together, live together in harmony,
mm-hmm.
and perform at levels way beyond what the military performed at before us. You know, and people need to get over our diversity is our strength. It's not and we shouldn't let anybody make us think otherwise. These people want to. Now, how can you want to cut food stamps?
Yes,
right now?
yes.
How can you? I dare you want to cut taking food out of baby's mouth and then talking about you got some kind of morality.
Yes.
We got the wrong people in our government. We need to recognize it as veterans and call them out.
Yeah.
We don't need to wait. We don't need to wait to November. And I want people to stop looking to 2024. Look to 2023.
Yes.
With these local elections.
Yes.
Because that's where a lot of the big problems at.
Exactly. You know, local elections directly affect us more than anything that the federal government can do. Mm-hmm. Those people who are in charge on a local level within the state of Georgia.
Within the state of Georgia.
They're the ones that are making decisions that directly affect us and affect us almost immediately.
Brian Kemp got the total carry law.
Yes.
That's his that's his way.
That's his
thing on us.
And we're suffering as a result of that.
Openly every day, man. You see, you got kids walking around with the thing hanging out their pocket.
Yes.
No, they ain't got no permit. They ain't, because the police can't say nothing to them about it. They until they done shot somebody. I got themselves killed about it. It's crazy.
They have no idea, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it over and over again. They have no idea the destructive power of a bullet to a human body.
Listen, some of them, you know what? That's why I like having veterans talk.
Yeah.
Because we've seen some stuff.
Yes.
We have experienced some things. And we did it for a reason. You know, everybody went in the military that was accepted in the military was of sound health and mind.
Yeah.
You couldn't get in
right. You're right. Exactly.
When you see people coming out of the military committing suicide on the rate that they're committing suicide today, that means that the government is not doing what they say they're going to do.
Yes.
Recognizing when that service has caused some issues of health and mind.
Yeah.
And addressing it with them coming out of the military in their families.
Yes.
You know, what you going to do? You think that they're going to appear at the VA? They're going home.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who's going to see the problems.
Yeah.
Equip the home. Equip the family to help their loved ones. They scared they got the grant of benefit.
Yeah. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The military did a heck of a job preparing me for the military.
Yes.
But it did not prepare me for the civil society that I was going to face once I come out of the military. And I didn't have challenges. I didn't have post-traumatic stress. Mm-hmm. That was not a situation I was dealing with. Mm-hmm. I was just dealing with the fact I got to adjust to this new way of living.
New way of living.
And so without the challenges of PTSD, and so you can imagine I'm trying to adjust, to this new society, and all of a sudden I have a situation with my mental caused by the military, and I don't understand why. But did they do anything to prepare me for that? No.
Listen, 15 days after I left Vietnam, I was in a padded cell at Fulton County Jail.
Yeah.
I put it in my book because I want people to understand the PTSD, what you talk about. I was not prepared to come home.
Yeah.
After being wounded in combat, after spending a year in combat, I was not prepared to come home.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mentality, being shell shocked, or when they would call it a bit back then.
At that point, yes.
You know, wasn't recognition or PTSD. So they told me, and this is my, am I right? Well, you had a few anxieties from getting wounded in Vietnam, but you're all right now.
Yeah.
That's the VA.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I got. You look pretty good. You dressing nice. You ain't got no problem now, boy. Go home.
Yeah.
It's in my records.
Yeah.
And this is why I wrote Short Change. To try to, you know, enlighten the community on what happens to their loved ones when they go in the military and come out, you know, disabled.
Yes. Go in well.
I was completely disabled.
Yes.
Because I had been traumatized, and then I'm hitting a divided society that got hate for me.
Yeah.
So what kind of reaction did I have with that? I used the violence that I learned in Vietnam in my own community.
Yeah.
Spontaneously, I exploded.
Yeah.
This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon, because we are here doing the same thing every Saturday, trying to make sense out of a central situation. Now, one other thing I want to say, because we're getting short time.
Okay.
The VA is online right now. They're online. All the services that veterans get are online. That's a problem with the community that we are in right now. It's a problem because most people, a lot of veterans are not online. 30% of our communities are not online, period.
Right.
That's a big block of being shortchanged, the community being shortchanged. Now, Valerie Belt Jones was supposed to be here. She might still come in, but she got some free Wi-Fi and free tablets for veterans.
Yeah.
And she's ready to sign up now. She's ready to start signing up now, helping people get these free resources so that you can access not just VA, but Social Security is online too, Tony.
Yes.
The whole society is going online.
Yes.
And 30% of our community don't have Wi-Fi.
Right.
I might be lowballing that. I'm saying 30.
Probably, but just the idea that it is available and free to the public, and we not having access to, is something that needs to be stated.
That's why we're doing Veterans Talk.
Yes.
That's why we're here. Yeah. And, you know, we bringing information and resources to the table, and awareness to where they're at, and people that help. We volunteer to help people get their benefits. You know, and there ain't no tag on it, ain't no cost on it.
Yes.
You know, we are out here every day in the community, Vietnam Veterans of America, working claims, helping people get the benefits. You know, this is something that we need in our community, and we're hoping to have it expanded with the Sons of Atlanta, when we can go into the rec centers and the libraries and put help centers there.
Yes.
So that people won't have access to the amenities of the society, so that they can benefit from all, improve the quality of life that they have. Because the resources are there, but they're being diverted, they're being peeled off, they're being corrupted by how we vote, how we putting people in charge of our government. And we got to be concerned with that more. When that white train hit me, I said, oh my God.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
It came so fast, I didn't even know it. I didn't even see it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was there, but I didn't think it was gonna run over me.
Run over. Yeah. as fast as
As fast as it did.
And once it hit you and knocked you down, it was gone.
It was gone.
It was gone. There was no time to react and say, what happened? What just happened?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
no change.
No change. Say, wait a minute. Why are you all doing this?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, see, they know why they're doing it. We know
Yeah.
why we're doing it. So our response to it is to expose it.
Yes, for what it is.
You know, and to change it. You know, we're gonna expose it and change it. They can change. They
Yeah.
can change.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
if they can't change, they will be changed. We need people on the commission that's gonna do what the commission was designed to do for all districts.
Yes.
That,
Yes.
you know, because we got veterans out there suffering.
Yes.
And we getting people exclusionaries. You know, I had a problem with that at the press release when this guy stepped up to the and somebody asked him about what kind of he was gonna do about homelessness, and he said, well, blah blah blah, and then but we can't get them all off the street. Let me say this here. Yes, you can. You can get every one of them off the street, and you can keep them off the street if you want to.
Yeah.
All you got to do is have a lottery law. If they get on the street, pick them up and put them in a center somewhere.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
You know, I mean, so we had people coming to the table right off the bat that with diversionary intention. You know, not to be inclusive, not to make sure that all of the counties, all of the appointees had a voice in what they was doing.
Yes.
What work the commission is gonna do. I was vice president. I got elected vice president. I have never been called or invited to a conversation on the phone about nothing.
Yeah.
And I think the record speak. Every proposal I made was slapped down.
Yep.
Every one of them.
Yep.
Not one. Every one of them.
Every
They
one,
found a
yeah.
way to curve it, and not be heard.
Yep.
But you know what? All of that's a matter of record.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's
All
right.
that's a
Yeah,
matter of record.
yeah.
So you can't say it didn't happen because the record speaks for itself.
Yes.
And that 10-minute meeting, 10-minute election, was enough to let me know that, listen, this ain't going the way it's supposed to be going.
Yeah.
It's not, and it ain't gonna happen with that train running rampant.
Right. Yes.
You know, it was the Norfolk. It's running off track. It's gonna run off a track, and it's gonna hurt a lot of people. So we're not finna let veterans in Fulton County be hit by a white train.
Yeah.
Because that's what I got hit by. So I want everybody to know that that's not the way this commission is supposed to be functioning.
Yes.
You know, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
every commissioner. Okay, every commissioner need to point somebody.
Yes.
And we're talking about that. We're gonna be about that. We got another meeting coming up soon, Tony.
Yep.
So I got some stuff to put in the file because I'm showing the evaluation that every commission need to make. Every commission need to make
Right.
a report as we did.
Yes.
Next Saturday in the same place, same time. Think about this. Do veterans' votes matter?
Yes.
Really, if they matter, let's make them matter. Let's put them to work so we can change things.
Yes.
Or we're going to be sorry that we didn't.
So until next week, same time, right here, veterans talking about veterans.
Yeah, and I tell you what else too. You can like us on Facebook
Yes.
and you can follow us on Instagram. Now we want you to do that too, and we want you to start calling in and sharing your opinion.
Yes.
You know what you got to say. It's important. Thank you. And next week,
Yeah.